Welcome to the Seawall podcast. I'm here, Matt Courtwright, interviewing John Dupree, plays with Utah. Super excited to have him out here. Funny how we met.
Yeah.
That's a story we got to tell.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I'm on the airplane. I'm on Southwest, very back towards the bathrooms. And I'm on the aisle, and I'm wearing a Chicago Hounds shirt, funny enough, because I'm normally always wearing Seattle stuff. And this guy comes up, and he's like, hey, you mind if I sit on the window? And I'm like, yeah, man, come on through. And he's like, hey, I like your shirt. I was like, oh, yeah, you messing around with rugby? That wasn't we're keeping it G-rated today.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm messing around with rugby. I'm like, oh, yeah, what way?
Yeah, actually, funny enough, just played my first season with the Utah Warriors, so ended up working out a little bit closer. And the fact that, especially with you seeing Marcus and Jonah being their coach in the past, played with him here at Central Washington as well. So
Yep.
It's a small world.
Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute, you probably know Ollie too.
Oh, yeah.
And all the boys, and like, oh, man, what a small world. So we've kept in touch a little bit, and here we are. Like you're shooting a gift, and we went and had some breakfast and got to know him a bit better.
Oh, yeah.
Got to know about mom and dad.
Yeah.
And the dynamic that they've played a part in your world.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, why don't you talk about mom? She had a pretty iconic part in the whole flying the flag, is what I was told.
Yeah. So my parents became very well known with the Utah Warriors very quickly when they started coming to the home games. You can hear them from just about anywhere in Zion Banks. Love them to death, but my goodness. So she got very close with the Warriors Ohana and Aaron Sr., who reached out to me and asked her if she wanted to run out one of our game day flags prior to the game. So not only did she get to do that, she actually got sent the flag afterwards that we got hang up at the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and how big is this flag?
Oh my! It's what, like 8 foot by 5 foot. It's too damn big.
It's huge, man. And you got this lady I've never done this before, but I'm going to go run with the flag in front of God and country.
Yeah, she didn't know she was going to be able to run. Just finished two total knee replacement surgeries. So when she got asked, she said, "I'll run the flag out there." But she did good. She was moving around, moving a lot faster than I thought she was going to.
Yeah, probably a lot faster than some of us with the bellies. So Yeah. So shout out to Aaron Sr. and the Warrior Ohana.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Or the Warriors Ohana. I butchered that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Lost the plural. But you know what? It's going to be cool is a lot of people are used to me just doing Seattle people, but the opportunity to interview you, I mean, why wouldn't the Ohana want to see you?
Oh, 100%.
Straight up.
Oh, the Warriors Ohana is amazing. It doesn't matter who we're playing, home or away. You know exactly where they're going to be. They're going to be cheering their hearts out every single time. So they're definitely people you want in your corner, and you can't go wrong with them.
Yeah, like you say, Ohana, right?
Oh, yeah.
Your family away from family, no matter what. So I'm looking at my notes, as you can see. Let's talk about your situation right now. Like, we're over here at Central Washington University in the Berg, and we're on the other side. We're not in Western Washington, but we're on the other side of the pass, so the other side of the summit, if you will. And you've been over here for a minute. How many years have you been over here?
Oh, so I started school here back in 2017, graduated in 22, and then after I got drafted that year, I stuck around for another fall camp with Coach Thornley, and was lucky enough after this last season with the Warriors to come back and do one more fall camp. So just can't quite get away from this place yet.
Right?
Keeps pulling me back.
I can't quit you. No, so yeah, please elaborate. Like what, this is the off season, and what's your day in, day out grind like?
I'm fully committed to making it to the next level. Like some of the Warriors Ohana know, I made a promise to my best friend that I was going to play at this level. And now that I've achieved that, I only want more. And I'm willing to do anything and everything it takes to get to that. So the fact that Coach Thornley was allowing me to come back and train with the guys, do some skills, a little bit extra conditioning that I can't quite just do on my own, has been great and huge. And then I helped my best friend Diego out a little bit with his business as well. So kind of killing two birds with one stone, helping people out, and then just scraping by, just trying to make the most of what I can, trying to get ready for this 24 season.
Yeah, and you're like renting a room right now with your buddy, right?
Yeah, I'm living in the garage in good old Ellensburg, making the most of everything. So
Man, that's dedication. That's seriously dedication. Unreal. I can't say that I've heard that story before, so definitely wanted to share that because people have to understand how much you're dedicated to this journey, and you're, morning, noon, and night. It's on your mind, and that's incredible. I'm looking forward to later on being able to just like catch up and see where you're at, and because you're just gonna go forward. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, this is only the beginning, and I obviously have no idea what's coming, but that's almost what makes me want to go even harder because who knows? It's all unknown, and I love it.
Yeah, it's the journey, man, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So what are you doing for work on the off season?
Oh, so currently, my best friend Diego, he owns a taco business called Tacos Califas.
How do people eat his grub?
He's trying to make it like a classic LA taco stand. So we set up just a big tent. We got some Blackstone grills, and then we show up at the brewery, Iron Horse Brewery here in Ellensburg. We do events all over. We've done weddings, and then the classic, we'll go sell out behind Club 301 here in Ellensburg. Do like a 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Make sure everyone's nice and fed for their cold walk home.
Love it, man. Yeah, everybody's got the Ono grinds, right?
Oh, yeah.
After they're rolling out, stumbling and bumbling and talking cursive.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to hear just exactly what they want, but we get there.
Oh, yeah, especially being in college town. They're getting down.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun, man. Where'd you play high school ball?
So originally I started out with Sierra Foothills Rugby Club. I believe they're shut down now, unfortunately. But at my senior year, I transitioned over Granite Bay Rugby Club and played over with them that following year and then with the Nationals with them. And then got the opportunity to come here to Central.
There's a guy that we were talking about earlier that you played a year below.
Oh, yeah, good old Connor Mooneyham.
Yeah, what a small world.
Sierra gang, yeah. Always in forever.
Gang.
We'll never be able to get away from that, yeah.
That's so good. Oh, small world. Like I learned that and I'm like, wait a minute. Really?
Oh yeah.
And Connor, he knows a lot of cats up in this MLR, man.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
He's a class act, that guy.
Yeah, huge fan.
What got you into rugby?
Oh, back to my good old stepmother. Love her to bits. She dragged me and my dad out of the house the summer after my freshman year of high school to an eggplant festival. Ran into a tent by Sierra Foothills, and Coach Janis had thrown me a ball, and he said, "Have you ever heard of rugby?" Not at all. Had no clue. I was a golfer beforehand, and
interesting.
Yeah, so that was my transition. But he threw me a ball, asked me to come out to tryouts, and I've been hooked ever since. 9 years later now, still can't quite get enough.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Do you golf with any of the guys on your off days?
So a bunch of the guys here, I actually golfed with a bunch over the summer. Unfortunately, my golf clubs are here with one of my roommates. I couldn't bring them over to Utah with me, but a bunch of the Utah guys want to see me out on the golf course, so I told them the same thing.
I was going to say, I'll be driving to the Utah game. I could throw it in the back of the caddy if you need it done, bro. I can roll through.
We might have to, because a couple of these guys are talking smack and ready to throw down on the golf course.
Yeah. And then when you get some beers, you can holler at your boy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's good. No.
One thing I didn't even think about until now, my oldest brother just played his first rugby game a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was inspired, I guess. He made some bad choices throughout his life, but found a new way to express himself.
That's really cool because Kevin Flynn, he helps with Seattle Rugby, and we actually had a podcast talking about some of the characters that find themselves in rugby with, checkered past, if you will. And it's perfect. I mean, hey, it gives you the discipline and it gives you the roughhouseness. Like, I don't know if that's a word, but I'm making one up.
I like it.
And and you just get rowdy, and then the discipline of rugby. I know personally that's something that's always made me wish I had played rugby younger. And you tend to like collision.
Yeah, I like to bury my head in things I probably shouldn't, but it's all right. It's part of the fun, right?
You were saying that's like you told your mom that, and she's like, "Oh, I did not need to hear that."
Yeah. That's playing open side. One of my favorite parts is jackling, and my goal is to touch my forehead to the ball, so it puts me in a bit of a vulnerable position. But
definitely.
If I get the ball back, I'm all for it.
It's worth the sacrifice.
100%.
Yeah. Oh man, the jackal is such a clutch play in general, just because it's just you have to be in that mindset of F you, I'm the boss. You know what I mean?
100%.
That's good.
It comes to bite me back a couple times because I almost want to do that more. Tackling's fun, but I'd rather do it. When you get over a ball and you have 3-4 guys try and move you and they can't, that's way better feeling than putting someone on their ass. So
that's good. Well, and you're not a real big flanker either. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
How'd you find yourself in the flanker position?
Bounced around here. Well, played hooker as I transitioned into college rugby. Coach Thornley quickly moved me to the back row because of my size and just kind of the way I moved around the field. And then ended up playing lock here for the last 4 years just to get some of the guys on the park that need to be on the park. But Utah saw that opportunity, and when I entered into the draft, I think it's the most fitting for me as an open side flanker just because I don't have the size necessarily to be a 6 or an 8. And I love putting my head where it doesn't belong. So it ended up working out pretty well for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, we were talking earlier about the academy for Utah.
Yeah.
And the man, the myth, the legend was your coach, right?
Yeah, Ollie Khalifi, the man himself.
Yeah, which gives me goosebumps because Ollie's been such an impactful person in rugby in general, making his way down to Utah, influencing that. Before it was ever the MLR.
Oh, yeah.
He was helping Seattle rugby and of course, playing with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, that guy's iconic.
Oh, yeah.
Used to help with the youth rugby a lot. Obviously still does, just not in Seattle anymore. And, man, I think that's really cool that's the guy that's coaching you.
Yeah.
And he's a guru. I mean, he really is. Like
he's been a part of the game for a very long time now. And, I mean, getting the chance to work with him side by side, not only in the academy sense of him as a coach, but being with the Warriors and getting to learn from such an experienced player is something that I'll never forget. And he was such an influential guy, especially just at trainings and always trying to push that envelope of getting better in every session.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since you know Ollie, you know Lance. There's some, everybody's got their opinion on what Lance is doing this season, and we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to share what your perspective is?
Oh, I mean, I bring it back to myself. My dream was to play professional footy. Lance's dream now is to play in the Olympics, and he has every opportunity to do so. And obviously you have to take your own sacrifices and take your own chances. And if he wants to put his eggs in that basket, I support him 100%.
Yeah.
That man is one of the hardest workers I've ever met, and I aspire to be half the player he is by the time I'm finished with the Warriors. So I'm excited to see where he goes into 2024.
I appreciate how Lance is always smiling.
Yeah.
It's like,
always.
That guy is just cheery to be around, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
You can't help. It's contagious. Like he shows up with a smile, leaves with a smile, and just and then to see him as the boss that he is on the pitch.
Oh yeah.
I mean, wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley if he was upset. I'm saying, that dude's a boss, man.
Yeah, he's got some concrete shoulders for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of discipline and work that's gone into having that physique and that level of expertise.
Oh yeah.
So you're over here training with Central, which seems to be, man, that's got to be huge in the off season right now. to be able to practice with them and keep your physique and
Oh, yeah.
discipline.
Yeah, I mean, the off season, I would have loved to have continued playing with another team, another academy, maybe just to continue playing ball. But at the end of the day, I didn't have that opportunity, and getting the chance to not have to train by myself, I get to do a bit of the skills that I wouldn't be able to do, and a bit of some of the even conditioning that I couldn't do without some of these guys. And they welcomed me with open arms, just like I was still going to school here. So the fact that I get to help them on the flip side as well is huge.
Yeah.
Because I know they have plenty of questions about where they're going to be in a couple of years, and hopefully in the same position I was. And I'm so grateful to Coach Thornley and everything he did for me, that I hope I can help some of those younger boys as well, kind of help direct where they're going to go coming up.
That's, man, way to be an icon, bro.
That's
with
the goal.
No ego. That's huge. That's huge. Well, in great American rugby tradition, you have to give thanks and gratitude to someone who helped you on your rugby journey. You've been thinking about it because we were talking about it before we put on the camera. Because as much as we like to think that we don't change when the camera comes on, we do a little bit. Like me talking to a camera right now and breaking that fourth wall is kind of weird, I'm sure. But here we are. You figure out who you wanted to thank?
I still can't choose one person.
So you're going to have to thank a couple then.
I'll have to thank a couple, because there was, I think, a crucial person in each step of this process that I got here. And I think, number one, it was my dad, being able to support me. But he's been there through the entire way. He's dropped anything and everything he could to help get me here. And then it goes to Coach Janice, where it started at Sierra Foothills. He's the one that got me going. He even came with me to Granite Bay when I went. Luke Gross, an absolute huge inspiration. He's the reason I decided to even come to college. And then leading into that, Coach Thornley took me under his wing, despite butting heads for a couple of years. I wasn't necessarily the person I am now. I used to be a bit of I used to challenge, how do I say this? Challenge authority a little bit. But now he got me to where I'm at, which I can't thank him enough for. And now I have Coach Coops, the head coach for Utah, who's pushing me, and he's supported me through every single thing so far. So I've had some of the best people behind me, and I can't wait to see who wants to jump on that ship and see where I can go moving forward.
I like that. Now I have to think about who I want to thank. And I think it's since we're talking about the Warriors Ohana, and we're talking about the Warriors, Ali Khalifi.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The guy, for me, in my experience, was I was helping with Rainier Rugby, which is a youth program over here in Western Washington. And he would come out with Pate and Aaron Lee and Kevin Flynn and a bunch of the OGs before the MLR ever existed. And then they all work professionally in the MLR now. It's kind of fun, like, hey guys, remember me? And we would put on these clinics and like, $25 and you get a t-shirt and you run the kids around. Mm-hmm. And the way that, he's probably even better now, but back then even, like, this is probably 7 years ago, just orchestrated, got the cluster over here and then they go and do this exercise and go over here and do the exercise and just, he's always smiling, man. Like, you can't help but want to be around the guy. He's just a magnet for positive energy.
Oh yeah.
And, oh man, like and then of course, even just reaching out to him in the off season or even during the season, like we normally get to hang out at the Redemption.
Oh yeah, Redemption Bar and Grill.
And that's a big staple for the Ohana, if you will.
Oh yeah.
And just always been a gentleman, always been open armed, and doesn't forget where he comes from, which is huge because as everything's blowing up and guys like yourself are getting the opportunities to play at the next level, and that everybody's staying humble, and he's a great example.
Yeah, no, he's, like I said before, he's one of the guys I looked up to this last season and really pushed me to help get to where I am now. And I can't wait to see where his next journey takes him, because I know he's going to take it on 100% and own it.
Well, tell me, how are you going to give back to rugby? Or how are you giving back to rugby? That's a good question.
Currently, I'm not doing a whole lot right now, but
I don't know. I mean, like practicing with the guys that are younger than you in college. I mean,
Yeah.
you are helping them.
yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is like it doesn't matter, if I'm being a part of the Warriors now or if the day comes where I get to pull on an Eagles jersey. I got to remember where I came from, and I got the opportunity to look at guys like that, and they were open arms when I came to them. So I just got to keep that going. It doesn't matter where your rugby journey starts. It's just where you want to go with it. So if your dream is as a little kid that you want to wear an Eagles jersey, or for some examples, there's guys who start here in college and they want to put on that Eagles jersey. I have every fiber of me wants to help you get there in any way I can. I don't care if you're a winger or a scrum half. I might not know some of it, but I'll support you. I'll get you moving in the right direction because this sport has changed and saved my life in so many different ways that I want everyone to be able to experience this kind of thing.
Very cool. And I believe that, I mean, the little bit of time that we've been acquaintances, and you're a kind man. And it's a blessing to be in your company, man.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for coming on and sharing with people your story for the moment. And this will be episode 1, and I hope to have more with you in the future.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we'll probably be down in Utah for the next one.
There we go.
Like when the missus and I come down there to visit, it would be great to break bread and do a little bit of something like this again.
Oh, yeah, we'll get you all sorted away over in
That'd
Utah.
be fun, man. Yeah, I might even have to bring the clubs.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Go for
Beautiful.
it. Well, thank you for watching. Like, share, comment, give us your 2 cents, whatever. And just appreciate it. Thanks.